Hey everybody, it's Karen Anderson here with Aortic Hope for a very special live Q&A. But before I get to that, I'm going to ask all of you to please click like, please click that subscribe and that little bell that you see over there. This way you won't miss every time that we go live. You'll be notified because, as you know, we go live for events like this. We have a lot of brave souls that want to tell their survivor story live, and every Monday we go live to review all of our posts. But tonight, we have something a little different. We have something that's going to be of great value to all of you watching and important for you to share with your clinicians as well. So I'm going to just simply announce that we have Stephen Page, and he is the chairman and CEO of, so do you go by Heart Health Community or Vascular Health Community? Which one is it?
It's a very good question. And actually, it is both. So we started off as the Heart Health Community, but then we created a relationship with the Society for Vascular Surgery that were trying to create their own identity and differentiate themselves from cardiologists. And they asked us, could we create a vascular health community version of this? And we have, and we did. So
it's wonderful.
It's both vascular health community, heart health community.
Well, we need to explain to everybody what that even means, and at some point show them what we're talking about, because I met you at the Society of Vascular Surgeons in, where were we? Chicago, right?
The Vascular Annual Meeting.
Chicago, right. Yes.
Chicago.
And just talking with you and listening to your story that you're about to share, it just, you know, these conferences can be a little long sometimes because you really got to work a room or you got to wait for people to come by. But when I met with you, we were left with just goosebumps over what has been created here, not only from a patient advocacy standpoint, but I'm a patient. So to know that this tool and this resource that's for free is at my fingertips just blew my mind away. And I immediately knew that we had to take this a step further and use this opportunity to share this with everybody in the community. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Stephen Page. And I'm going to let you share it with everybody in the community.
Well, first of all, I was so impressed when I met you and the mission that you're prosecuting for Aortic Hope. So heart disease, #1 killer in the world today. Over 50% of the population will die of heart-related disease. When you get diagnosed with a heart condition, you begin what we call a heart health journey. Mm-hmm. And the majority of people will go to Dr. Google. And here we have the first trip in our journey. If you look at aortic distension or angina or any one of the major 40 heart disease states as defined by the American College of Cardiology, you can get anywhere from 10 million to 100+ million search results on Google, most of which are not going to be accurate.
Correct.
So when we started this journey, we were lucky enough to team up with Dr. Tony Das. Dr. Das is the head of digital health strategy for Baylor Scott & White, the Heart Hospital Plano, and Baylor Scott & White is the largest hospital system in Texas, something like 52 hospitals. And Dr. Das has his own business, and he has performed something like 30,000 procedures. And he's sort of unique in that he is both an interventional cardiologist and a vascular specialist. So he passes over both disciplines. When we met him, he basically leapt into my arms and said, I have wanted to build a heart health community all my life, and I've never had the technology partner to do that. And we had just created a partnership with Louis Bardoff, who built the original Match.com platform. And the Match.com platform was replicated 40 times, and it became a multi-billion-dollar market cap company. After 7 years with Match, Louis went down to Latin America and built the Latin American equivalent of Facebook, got 50 million people operating on that, successfully sold it, had retired comfortably in his garage in Plano when I found him and dragged him out by his heels and said, not yet, we have one more big thing to do, and this is it. It's taken us 3.5 years to build the heart health community and the vascular health community platform. The platform contains over 6,500 sources of information and resources sorted into now 42 categories. And it's designed to help a patient or a loved one manage a critical health journey more effectively. And we've worked with the American College of Cardiology to take all of their professionally created information describing the 40 heart disease states and put it into a 2024 LinkedIn quality community platform and a mobile platform. So we actually have two mobile platforms, one for heart health and one for vascular health. And essentially they're the same platform, but the order and the presentation of the materials are organized. So if it's vascular, you see all of that first. If it's heart, you see all of that first.
Right.
But when you begin one of these journeys, you want to be able to really understand what you're dealing with, and better educated patients always lead to better health outcomes. So we were very fortunate with the American College of Cardiology. They gave us written permission to put their information into this 2024 community platform with attribution as them to the source. And we agreed never to charge individuals for access to this information. So if you live in one of America's big 100 cities, you're generally going to find the help you need to manage a critical health or an aortic type journey effectively. If you live in one of America's 4,000 rural communities, good luck. Finding that professionally curated information is going to be hard. So we've put it all in a way that's easy to understand. So you might need home care professionals, you might need dietitians, you might need nutritionists, you might need many types of physical therapists to help you get back onto the road of recovery. We have sources of all of that information in one place. We've also organized a news feed from 50 different professionally curated RSS sources, and we've created a content library of over 500,000 articles. And you can just put in a keyword if you're doing leading edge research on any one of the aortic or heart disease conditions, and what are the therapies available? What are the treatment suggestions? What are the newest drug therapies or pharmaceutical therapies? This allows you to become, this information all gets consolidated in one news feed, and you as the individual can go and type in a keyword and find the latest articles, both professionally published and for consumers. And in each of the heart conditions, you can join that group and start to create a community around a discussion. I had this condition, what did you do to mitigate it? How did you resolve it? Who do you recommend? And all of the connections within these groups are presented geographically. So ultimately, you will find resources that are presented geographically to help you then manage the journey more effectively. This has been one of the greatest labors of love I've ever been involved in. And this has the potential to drive global health equity. The platform translates into 121 different languages at the click of a stick. So at the top on the menu bar, you'll see a little globe. If you hit that, there's 121 languages, and you select the language that you want to be spoken to in, and all of a sudden, all the content on that platform translates into one of those 121 languages. So as we become more and more diverse in each of the, I'm English, so, England's become incredibly diverse, America's become incredibly diverse. And I always love statistics. So we have the person that builds our mobile apps is a genius, but he's Vietnamese. And Vietnamese has become the third most popular language spoken in Texas. So after English and Spanish, it's Vietnamese. So we're proud to be able to translate this content and start to be able to drive global health equity using this translation capability within the platform. When I met you, we were thrilled to be able to say, look, this is such a worthy cause, and sharing information helps people recover on their journey. What did you do? How did you manage this? Where did you go to get it done? What were the equipment options? What were the procedure options? Everything about understanding how you might be affected or where you might find resources is so cool to share. And if you do go to one of the other major third-party social media platforms, you're going to get hit with, stop eating, meat, don't wear fur anymore, come and climb Kilimanjaro, all sorts of brand messages. And we've made this platform ad-free because we just want it to be something pure that really does just get to the core of what it's about, which is helping people manage critical health journeys more effectively. So that is the preamble that led up to this. It's taken us 3.5 years to build the platform. The Society for Vascular Surgery became our first big association client. Baylor Scott & White became our first big hospital system client. But now we're in the process of implementing the platform with 4 major clinics around Texas. Texas Vascular Associates, Connected Cardiovascular Care, Cardiac Surgery Specialists, and one other that I'm not at liberty to say, but it's in process. So we're really excited about where this is going. We're thrilled to help Aortic Hope in a charitable way, and we will do so forever. And we need people to make hospital systems and physicians aware of this as a resource, and any help that your members can provide in that basis is very gratefully received.
Well, what I really, I mean, so many things about this impressed me as a patient, because my aortic dissection happened almost 10 years ago. It'll be 10 years in January. And, once I came out from that fog of what the heck just happened to me, I go right to Google. Google says you'll be lucky if you're alive in 5 years. That's shocking and horrible to read. Of course, no physician told me that, but that's what it said on Dr. Google. Then you go to Facebook, because that has become the standard next place that you go. And the information I was getting from all of the community members, and everybody does it, that wants to give you all this medical advice, was contradictory to what I was being told by my physicians. It was scary. And all I wanted was someone to say, yep, I've been there too. I just was looking for some validation and some support. And I didn't even know what that meant yet at that time. So eventually, fast forward, once I met some additional people and we decided to create Aortic Hope as a platform to provide accurate information, to provide the support, and to provide the resources through our YouTube channel and our various patient guides. We already have aortic dissection, the patient guide, and aortic disease is going to be coming out next year. What I would have done to have had something like this, so easy, I could have just looked up aortic dissection, and I could have seen videos and read real-time news articles that were easy to understand and just real information. And what I've had to do as an organization leader is pull this information from all the sources, not all of them, but you're getting most of them that are already on your page. So I had to develop a relationship with the Society for Thoracic Surgeons, and then develop a separate one with the Society of Vascular Surgery, and try to pull videos from them, and then look up different medical systems and hospitals and physicians putting out videos on YouTube and blogs. And it's endless. It's endless, endless, endless. And now I can just go here and just ask a question. If I hear something from a physician and I just realize I have a question, and I find out, oh, you have, aortic regurgitation in your valve, and I don't get a chance to ask, well, what does that exactly mean? I can go right on, because I've already looked this up, because I have it. I can go online and check that out right there on your app, and it's going to explain it to me in not scary phrases. It's going to just tell me the facts. I don't have to worry about it being inaccurate. I don't have to worry about it being someone else's opinion or what they think it's right. I know it's right, and I know it's accurate. And that was what just really excited me, is to know, my goodness, this is here and everything's in one place. And people are signing on to this, and people are believing in this, and they want to support this, and they want to be part of it, and they're excited about it. And then when I come on and I see American Heart Association is there, and the Way to My Heart, which is Kim McNicholas, and we've had her on here. She's a more peripheral artery disease, and we've, go back and forth in supporting each other. And I see, well, if she's part of this as well, you start seeing some key players and some other notable organizations, that this is just something you have to be part of. So we appreciate your generosity in allowing us now as an organization to be represented and be there to be able to provide the support aspect and all of the resources from a patient standpoint, created by patients, clinically reviewed and supported. So that's what we get to offer, something that's from a different voice, somebody who's had a chest tube, somebody whose heart was stopped and started. Like we get that. the doctors do it, but we we experience it, so it's a little bit of a different perspective. So I think that that's my take, doing it as a patient and doing it as a advocate, perspective. So thank you for your passion, your shift in passion.
Well, this is a labor of love. We will never be done with this. We
Yeah.
will always find other sources of incrementally important information or more accurately articulated information, and we will continue to upgrade the content on this platform.
Yeah.
There's actually two parts to this platform, and the first one is free to consumer. So,
Do you want to share your screen and maybe let's take a look at that?
sure.
So let's say I'm a consumer and I say, oh, I just listened to this video. I watched this video with Stephen and Karen. I think I'm going to come on and check it out. And what do I do?
So, is the Heart Health Community homepage up?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I would start with Learn, and we'll go to the heart conditions, heart procedures. So we want to learn about the 40 heart conditions as defined by the American College of Cardiology, and we'll start with something simple before we get into aortics. Well, most probably common disease state is what's called AFib, atrial fibrillation. The American College of Cardiology is redoing its very, very good website called cardiosmart.org, and we were lucky enough to receive written permission from them to take their information, which is represented today on 15 different pages, and we reorganized it, put it all on one page, so you didn't have to go paging through 15 pages. And we thought this information, questions to ask your doctor, was perhaps the most important part, so we put that right at the top after the definition of the disease state. So many people, when they get a diagnosis, have what we call the white coat syndrome. They're in the doctor's office, and the doctor's trying to describe what it is they have, but they're like a deer in the headlights. They are not organized with their thinking. They don't have a list of questions they'd like answered. They're not maximizing the use of their 20 to 30 minutes in front of the doctor, and a big opportunity is lost. If you know you're going to the doctor and you know you've got an issue that likely you could be looking for or discussing, printing this out and having a loved one with you and being able to organize your thoughts so you maximize the 20, 30 minutes you have with the doctor to ask all of these questions is what we consider a critical part of this educational process. Not everyone likes to read, so we've added videos, and the videos are professionally curated. Why would you?
Because you don't get to probably have all the special stuff, maybe, unless you're signed in.
That's it. That's funny you should say that, but that is exactly what has happened here. So I'll sign in, and now we'll go back and get the goodies, which is the videos and everything else. So I always love playing this one because this is...
Your heart is made up of 4 chambers, 2 atria at the top and 2 ventricles at the bottom. Your sinus node, the pacemaker center.
So that is from the British Heart Foundation. I always play that for a shameless homage to my home country. But all of these have about a half a dozen, 4 to 6 videos attached to them. And now let's look at something a little more closer to home, aortic.
You can go to aneurysm or dissection, whichever you'd like.
Which would you like?
Oh, well, they don't even have aortic dissection on that page, but I did see it before. Go to aneurysm.
Yep. So here we define the condition again. We define questions to ask your doctor. We have videos that support this. And before long, on the affiliate links, we'll have a link back to Aortic Hope. So there will be a link there for you. So here are 5 videos that describe what this condition is. You can take the URL, share it across, et cetera, et cetera. So in this platform, we have over 6,500 sources of information and resources sorted out into 42 categories. So if you want a home care professional, if you want a nutritionist, a dietitian, you want to look at the associations that support this disease condition or any disease condition, we have them all here. So I know Aortic Hope is going to come up in alphabetical order. And here you are.
Okay.
So we have a beautiful looking banner and your narrative with professional links to all of your information and your executive team all right here.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be a living document. You can update this on an ongoing basis, and we can create additional groups for charitable organizations. And we put a couple of links in here for you for the Society for Vascular Surgery, for the Society for Thoracic Surgeons, and I believe for Edwards Life Sciences, who is also a supporter of you. And those will lead back to their respective organizations. From a news point of view, if we said, let's look at the latest consumer news for aortic, and we're just going to type in aortic. We won't, and unfortunately, slow internet in our building, that is hitting 50 different websites to come up with the latest news that's been posted from those, but we'll see what articles.
Wow. Just that first one, patch wearable cardio. Wait, I don't have my, sorry.
Glasses on. Yeah, we're all getting to
wearable cardioverter defibrillator. Wow. I can't even imagine just throwing on a patch and it will do that. That's incredible.
So if we go through all of these, there'll be so many articles about what is the latest news with everything to do with aortic. Let me show you something that's sort of fun that we do for professionals. So Dr. Dennis Gable is on the board of directors of SVS. And this gets into the professional side of our platform. We basically create websites for all of the cardiologists and all of the vascular specialists. And Dennis is a prolific writer and producer of content. So he has written endless articles and published in journals and made presentations, and those are some of his works. For professionals, we create an individual group. We can embed a Google rating. We connect to all of their social media, but we can also create an individual news feed for each doctor. And Dennis has estimated, or Dr. Gable, these are the keywords he uses. This consolidated or aggregated news capability will save him between 5 and 10 hours a week when he does all of the research and goes to 50 different websites to find articles that might be inspiration for presentations or whatever. All of this news content gets aggregated and put into his professional news feed on a daily basis as it gets posted. So he didn't have to go to 50 different news websites to find all of this. And from a doctor's point of view, he estimates this will save a tremendous amount of time.
Well, and even as a patient, you can choose your own keywords as well of things that you'd be interested in receiving so that you don't have to now hunt and search. You will get that latest and greatest news based on what it is that you're interested in too.
Exactly right. So other things you can do, I've already joined this platform. You can join this group, but you can cut and paste and copy this QR code, and you can put this into an invitation to a loved one. You know, dear Peter, dear Sarah, if you want to access professionally curated information about this condition, click or scan this QR code, and it will take you directly to this group where you can join as a member. So it is tremendously user-friendly. And again, Dr. Gable thinks this will save him hours a week instead of, you know, explaining AFib or aortic distension for the 20th time that day. he can just cut and paste this QR code into a diagnosis or a discharge note, and then the patient in their own time, in their own place, can join this group and assimilate all of this information and look at the videos and really begin to understand what this is. I told you about the translate capability, and I always showing it because
that's amazing.
So we've got everything you could possibly, if you want to go into German for a second, there it all is, and it translates that easily. So it's an incredible capability.
And so if you're on here, you can also join if your hospital system is on here, because I know you're still adding hospital systems as well as physicians, but if yours is on here, you can join their page, join that organization so that you're following their information as well.
Yes, so I think the hospital systems we've represented here are the majority of the hospital systems, with over 30 hospitals affiliated with them. Right. And Baylor Scott and White is the biggest in Texas, has about 50, 52, I think. But many of these other names will be recognizable. And we are in the process of building out for clinics and practices. And here is Dr. Das, our Chief Medical Officer. I must show you his profile because it's very impressive. So this is our Chief Medical Officer. He went to Stanford, he went to Harvard. He was one of the founders of the Vascular Intervention Advances Association, VIVA, and he's a fellow of the American College of Cardiology, and he has a wonderful website that describes everything you would ever want to know about vascular and heart conditions. There's a tremendous amount of information and resources here from a learning point of view, from a participation point of view, from a joining point of view. And in time, we will build out other capabilities like events, like jobs. And but first of all, we're just trying to get the basics right. Yep. This will never, ever be finished. There will be endless, additions to this repository of information and resources.
Yep, which is wonderful. It's just nice to know that it's going to continue growing. As I've, when I take a look at the areas that I know are of most interest to the community members, there's still some things that are not necessarily highlighted. And I say yet, because I know that over time they will. And that's another aspect that I like, that I know if I came to you and I said, hey, we're missing this, unless it's embedded someplace else, I know I can have that conversation. But if it's not there now, it'll be there tomorrow. But just because it's heart and vascular, I don't want the community to think that this is because it's the heart health community, that it's lacking in aortic specific topics. We know that the aorta is considered separate. It's its own organ off of the heart, but there's definitely some extremely good information, solid information that you can have off of this app, which is wonderful. And other community members that you can, tie yourself into.
So you've just opened the door. If you would send me links, YouTube links to all the videos that you have created or added to the Aortic Hope Group channel, we will add all of those to the video section within your community here.
We have a lot of work to do on ours. We're still getting used and playing around in there, so we'll get it. We're going to keep you busy.
Well,
we need to hire staff.
You've done a wonderful job so far, so this is an enormously great start. But all the people listening, the easiest thing you can do first off is go to Heart Health Community, and in the association section, go to Aortic Hope, and then there'll be a link down here that says join this group, or you could copy this QR code and invite friends, family, associates, business professionals to join this group. So we'd like to make this the biggest group on this platform by the time we've finished developing it with your and Josh's help.
Well, and then you guys need to create an account first, which again is free, but you need to create your registration information, which is where it's all going to click and make sense, because that's where you're going to pick your keywords and the information that's important to you. So that you're never going to get flooded with stuff that isn't, and you always can change that. So let's say you have something and then you don't have that issue wrong with you anymore. You're not interested and you want to put something else in or delete something, you can always do that.
So we put in 4 keywords for you, Karen, and there they are. But if you think that you have other keywords that you would like placed in there, we can expand that. But most of what you're going to see is actually pretty sophisticated PubMed, but
Yep.
you'll get it from other sources as well. And those are, that saved you going to 50 different websites to
Oh, for
find
sure.
the latest information. So
For
it's
sure.
tremendously helpful. And the same search capability is available and applied to individual membership profiles. So think of this as LinkedIn for aortic conditions, and you can make connections with groups, with doctors, with hospitals, or with other patients going through the same situation.
Yep. I want to check in and see if we have any questions or comments or who might be with us tonight.
We've got a pretty interesting crowd tonight, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Tom Nowetner jumps in to say, good evening, all. Katie says, good afternoon, everyone. Alan Martin says, hi, all. Velda says, hi. Molly says, hi. Nina says, hi. And then Thomas says, this is truly amazing. I say, a very big tool for the toolbox. Velda says, very impressive. Molly says, incredible tool. Katie says, very informative.
There you go.
Those are very, very gratifying and positive observations. So that is a lovely way to finish a day.
I know, right? Right. Now the day is complete. Now it was worth being in over 100-degree weather.
Mercifully, air conditioning is alive and well in Texas.
Thank goodness, right? Thank goodness.
We couldn't survive without it.
Well, I definitely want to thank Tom and Katie, Alan, Velda, Molly, and Nina for joining us. And I really do hope that all of you take the time and set up your account. I'd love to know your thoughts. I know Stephen would love to know your thoughts as well. Look, and if there's something that you, for some reason, aren't finding or you have questions, absolutely ask those questions. If you want to send them to me or get them over to the organization, do you have a customer service or any kind of link or anything if someone's running into a situation?
If they send an email to info@Heart Health Community, we will respond to it. So they come directly to Lewis and me, and there's no question too trivial. If you have suggestions, if you have organizations that would like to sign up and use this platform, again, this is free to consumers, and it's what's called a SaaS business, a software as a service business, for physicians, for hospitals, for clinics, for anyone that's a healthcare professional. We would be delighted to help them create their platform on this community in order for them to be able to correspond and interface with their patients more effectively.
And when you guys are going through this, you might find other types of conditions that might be of interest to family members, to friends, to your neighbors. Please let them know about this. I mean, the more people that know, the more awareness becomes created and the better educated people are in the community for whatever their issues are. So as you see there, you right there, you've got other featured disease and conditions.
So we started off heart health because it is the #1 killer of humankind. But we also are addressing the top 10 known diseases to kill mankind, and here they are. Mm-hmm. And we're building out each of these on an ongoing basis. So an example also, when you're engaged in any one of these journeys, and let's say you've been diagnosed with liver disease, if they can't tell what condition, specific disease state it is, they're going to do a biopsy. And unfortunately, those are prone to lots of problems. But this describes liver disease and where you might be. But there's an affiliate resource here. And if you click on that, there's a company called Perspectum that raised $50 million to reinterpret MRIs and tell you with specificity exactly what is wrong with your liver without the need for a biopsy. So it's just one example. Ultimately, we're working a little bit with McKinsey. There's a wonderful man that has built a digital innovation practice with about 1,800 companies that do things like this. And we'd like to aggregate all of those companies and give them all a place where they're developing resources and approaches to managing or eradicating really detailed disease states more effectively, less intrusively. And this is a wonderful place. So if we said we're looking at digital innovations within every version, we have a digital health innovator section, and we've just began to profile some of the companies that really begin to create innovations in healthcare. And this is a wonderful way for them to aggregate their early customers around their come-to-market initiatives. So that's what the Digital Health Innovation Group is all about. So there's endless resources. We are continuing to add continually to this platform. And if any of you listening have suggestions about things that you think we should include, we're all ears. And please, info@hearthealthcommunity.com. If you go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, if you go to Heart Health Community or Vascular Health Community as a search term, you will find the logo with a heart with two little roads through it. That is the app. It's free to download for consumers, and please share that with your friends.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. How are we doing, Josh? Anybody have any other comments or questions before we start to wrap it up? A lot of
awesome.
We'll take a lot of awesome. That was the whole purpose for this, because I recognized awesomeness. I said, this has to be shared with the community. I was so excited. I remember after I left the table, I sat down with Jenny, who was with me, and I was like, did you get all that? Do you understand? Like, we have to go on this right now as patients. Let's
Molly
check it
has
out.
A question here.
It was amazing. I'm sorry, who does?
Molly asks, how do you continue to monitor the information for accuracy and being up to date?
What a good question, Molly. So we are working with Dr. Bill Schultz, who is the head of the communications committee for the Society for Vascular Surgery. And this is almost like an elephant giving birth. We are aggregating all of the most latest up-to-date vascular information about not only the conditions, but the procedures. And when this work is finished, it will be the latest thinking from the world's greatest experts that are fellows of the Society for Vascular Surgery. That is the largest and most prestigious professional association for board-certified vascular surgeons in the world. And we've created a partnership with SVS to obtain or to use their information within this platform. We were lucky enough to get written permission from the American College of Cardiology to get the latest information about the 40 different heart conditions and procedures. We will never stop upgrading or improving this information, and particularly helpful of videos. So everyone loves videos. So we will seek better and better and better quality videos that describe each of these conditions or the patient journeys. And this journey will never be over for us. We will incrementally improve the content on an ongoing basis. And to that point, Molly, if you have great videos that describe any of the aortic conditions or the heart or vascular conditions you think should be on this platform, by the way, they have to be hosted on YouTube, because YouTube automatically closed captions and hearing impairs videos when they're put up there. And you have to have videos that are closed captioned or hearing impaired, or you're going to get a nasty legal letter from a group in Los Angeles that goes and finds all the people that have been silly enough to put up videos that weren't closed captioned and hearing impaired. So we are keen not to come under their radar or on their radar for a bad reason. So anything that's already up on YouTube, we can support on this platform.
Now I have a question for you. We may be more central, we're located and based out of the US, but we do have partnerships out of Canada, and we have a lot of community members across the globe that follow us, both in UK, Ireland, variety of other countries. Are they going to only be obtaining information that's US based or European based? I mean, where do you pull your information from? Everywhere? Can anybody in any country have access to this?
The short answer to that is yes.
Okay.
We consider the American healthcare system perhaps the finest in the world. So we give a lot of credibility to the information that's being created by the American College of Cardiology and the Society for Vascular Surgery. But we will support anyone that's on a heart, vascular, etc. mission anywhere in the world. So once we've got the 3,000 board certified vascular surgeons from the Society for Vascular Surgery's membership on board this platform, we fully intend to work with about another dozen vascular associations around the world to onboard them and their members. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, this is likely to morph into the global health community, because although we've started with heart and vascular and we will soon progress to cancer, this will ultimately address all health situations, but the most critical, we think, are heart and vascular. So that's where we started. We put the drawing pin in the center of that world, and we think the U.S. has the most professionally curated information, which is why we started here. Mm-hmm. But we will help and support anyone that's on this mission to educate and inform people on how to manage these conditions, how to deal with them, where to find resources. And I love this statement, the better educated patients lead to better health outcomes. Yep. This is so true, and this is what this is all about. And ultimately, we've been given a wonderful gift. We have the ability to drive health equity on a global basis. Yeah. So if you live in a big, sophisticated city, you might be able to find the information at this level, but maybe not. But if you live in a rural community or a third world country, good luck. And this levels that playing field. And as a professional in the fourth quarter of his professional life, I always love this saying too, to be given the gift of being able to create something like this that might leave a legacy impact on the world is the best gift I've ever been given professionally. So I'm thrilled to be doing this. And we work at it 6 and 7 days a week. We're like children with a new toy, just the enthusiasm to get this right is huge.
And from Aortic Hope's perspective, yes, I could have just shared this as here's a tool for you. One of the reasons that you find us on here is so that as more patients and physicians join, they then can share information about this organization, because we are the catcher's mitt. We're the post-diagnosis advocacy group that provides the support, that helps provide all of this accurate information and other additional resources by patients for patients. So that's our goal, we're the catcher's mitt, just sitting there like this, and everything else on this app is very preactive, and we're more reactive, which works out perfect for us. And we're all patients too, like I've said from the start. So all of us that are behind the scenes here it's selfishness turned selflessness. That's what I always say. We're going to use it for ourselves, but now we get to use it in a way to share it for everybody else. So we hope that you find this to be an amazing tool like we have, and that you get a chance to enjoy this beautiful gift that Stephen and his team have been able to provide to all of you. So, yeah.
You could not have said that more beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. Unless I did it in an English accent. Maybe then.
We can have elocution lessons every Friday night with a glass of wine.
I like it. When that'll happen is when I become a lady. You do whatever you do to make that happen.
Lady C, yes.
Right.
It's coming.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Josh, one last pass if there's any other questions or comments.
Chat is caught up.
All right, wonderful. Stephen, you're wonderful. You're just wonderful.
Karen,
and I love that we've done this, because Aortic Disease Awareness Month is in September, and I have this great opportunity to really launch this and get this going in the community. And you can already see by the response that we had in the beginning of August when people are on vacations. Everybody's very excited about this and they think it's awesome.
I'm really thrilled to be working with you. Please send us links to all of the videos you'd like to put up in your group, and we'll make sure we get those added in the next day or two.
I love that. We'll be working on that for sure. We will be working on that for sure. All right, everybody, don't forget, please click like, please click subscribe, and click the little bell so you're notified every time we go live, and share this. I guarantee you there's somebody in your life right now that needs to know about this app and needs to know about the organization. So please share this across your social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or wherever. The list goes on and keeps growing. And thank you, Stephen, again, with Heart Health Community. We are so excited to be able to kind of be an affiliate and partner with you on this and get this out to the masses. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to everyone.
It has been a great pleasure, and I'm thrilled to do it again anytime.
You got it. It'll happen. It's on. It's happening. All right. Thank you to everybody that jumped on and had questions and comments. We really appreciate it, and have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.